Here's a truth that can't be said enough. Women rarely say the full truth about how they feel. Instead, they show it. And the problem is, a lot of guys either can't read those signs or they refuse to accept them. They'd rather live in denial, chasing a woman who's already checked out emotionally, than face the possibility that she's just not interested. Think about it. How many men waste months, sometimes even years, trying to win over a woman who has no intention of being with them? They take her mixed signals as a maybe, when in reality it's a silent no. And the reason this happens is simple. Men are often taught to keep pushing, to prove themselves, to never give up. But in relationships, that mindset can backfire. Because when a woman isn't into you, persistence doesn't build attraction, it kills it. Here's the controversial truth. If you're confused about where you stand with a woman, chances are she's already decided. Women don't struggle to show interest in the men they actually want. When she's into you, you'll know. When she's not, you'll feel it, through her distance, her excuses, her lack of effort. The signs are always there, but most men ignore them because the truth hurts. This video is going to strip away the confusion. No sugarcoating, no feel-good lies. We're going to break down the psychology behind female behavior and show you the exact signals that reveal when a woman is not into you. And once you understand them, you'll stop wasting time on dead-end situations and start focusing on women who genuinely want to be with you. Because the bottom line is, if you don't learn how to spot disinterest, you'll keep chasing illusions and losing respect in the process. 1. You're treated like an option, not a priority. One of the clearest signs that a woman is not truly interested in you is when she treats you like an option rather than a priority. It's not about her being busy. Everyone has responsibilities, work, and personal goals. The difference is that when a woman genuinely values you, she makes space for you in her life, even if it's just a small effort. But when she doesn't see you that way, you'll notice you're always at the bottom of her list. Here's the controversial part. Men often mistake crumbs of attention for real interest. If she replies to your messages every now and then, agrees to see you occasionally, or keeps you around for convenience, many guys convince themselves it means she cares. But the truth is, a woman who truly desires you will show consistency. She won't need to be begged or reminded to treat you like someone important. When you're just an option, you'll notice patterns. She cancels plans often, takes forever to respond, or keeps you in the background while giving her energy to other people or things. This isn't about her being a bad person. It's about where you stand in her priorities. And if you're at the bottom, then the reality is, she's not into you the way you hope. Imagine you plan a date with her for Saturday night. You're excited, but a few hours before, she cancels because something came up. You think, okay, maybe next time. But this becomes a routine. She cancels on you, yet you see on social media that she went out with friends or had time for other things. That's not her being busy. That's her showing you exactly where you fit in her world. The key lesson here, stop chasing women who only keep you around as an option. If you don't demand priority, you'll always be stuck in the background of someone else's life. 2. Her phone is more interesting than you. If you ever find yourself competing with a woman's phone for her attention, that's a red flag. In today's world, everyone is glued to their screens, but when a woman genuinely values your presence, she will put the phone down. She'll want to be engaged with you because spending time together feels exciting, not like a chore. When she's not really into you, however, her phone suddenly becomes the star of the show. You'll be sitting right in front of her, but she's scrolling through Instagram, replying to messages, or laughing at memes that have nothing to do with you. And here's the tough pill to swallow. If she can't give you her focus during the short time you're together, then you're not a priority in her eyes. Men often excuse this behavior by saying, "Oh, that's just how everyone is nowadays." But the truth is, attraction makes people present. If she truly cares, she'll forget about her notifications because she's locked in on you. On the other hand, if she's bored or uninterested, the phone becomes her escape. Let's say you take her out for dinner. You've planned the evening, chosen a nice spot, and you're trying to start a real conversation. But the entire time, her eyes are glued to her phone. She nods here and there, maybe throws in a yeah or oh wow, but it's clear she's not listening. She even laughs at something on her screen while you're speaking. At that point, it's not about her being busy. It's about her showing you, without words, that she'd rather be entertained by a device than connect with you. The reality is simple. When a woman is into you, her phone fades into the background. When she's not, you'll feel invisible sitting across from her. Don't ignore this sign, because if you do, you'll keep investing in someone who would rather scroll than see you. 3. She avoids anything physical. One of the strongest indicators that a woman isn't really into you is her lack of physical interest. And I don't just mean intimacy in the bedroom. I'm talking about the small, natural forms of touch that happen when there's genuine attraction. When a woman is drawn to a man, it shows in the way she leans closer, brushes against him, hugs him a little longer, or playfully touches his arm during conversation. Those little gestures say more than words ever could. But when she's not into you, all of that disappears. Instead, she keeps her distance. She'll pull back if you lean in, avoid hugs that feel natural, or make excuses to not sit too close. The absence of physical connection is her silent way of telling you that she doesn't feel that spark. This is something men often ignore because they don't want to face it. Many guys convince themselves that she's just shy or she's being respectful, when in reality, women who are genuinely attracted don't need to be convinced to express it physically. It comes naturally. A woman who likes you won't feel uncomfortable being close. She'll want it just as much as you do. Another key sign is when even the smallest gestures feel forced. Maybe you go for a high five or a side hug and it feels cold or mechanical. That's not connection, it's obligation. And here's the hard truth. If she's avoiding that physical closeness, she's telling you where you really stand in her world. Men need to stop ignoring this. A woman's comfort with touch is one of the clearest reflections of her interest. If she's avoiding it, don't waste time overthinking or making excuses. Attraction doesn't need to be begged for, it flows naturally, and if it's not there, you can't force it. The bottom line is simple. If she avoids physical closeness, she's avoiding you on a deeper level. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can walk away with your self-respect intact. 4. She talks about other men around you. If there's one thing that should immediately raise your awareness, it's when a woman constantly brings up other men in your presence. Think about it. Why would a woman who truly values you keep talking about other guys, whether it's an ex, a male friend, or some random man she finds attractive? It's not an accident. It's a signal, and too many men ignore it. Here's the reality. When a woman is genuinely into you, she focuses her energy on you. She doesn't feel the need to compare you with others, and she definitely doesn't go out of her way to make you feel like you're competing. But when she's not invested, she'll casually mention other men, sometimes even exaggerating their qualities, as if to remind you that you're not the only option out there. Now, here's where men go wrong. Instead of recognizing this behavior for what it really is, a red flag, they brush it off. Some guys even laugh along, thinking it's harmless. But it's not harmless. It's disrespect, plain and simple. And the fact that she feels comfortable doing it in front of you says a lot about how she views you. Men need to wake up to this. If she's talking about other men around you, she's telling you that she doesn't see you as someone she has to impress. She doesn't fear losing your attention, because deep down, she knows she already has you hooked. That's not a position of strength for you. It's a position of weakness. So stop tolerating it. If you're serious about keeping your self-respect intact, you can't allow a woman to make you feel small by constantly bringing up other men. The moment you notice this pattern, it's time to pull back and reassess. Because if you don't, you'll keep playing the role of the guy who's good enough to listen, but never good enough to be chosen. 5. Conversations feel forced and dry. One of the most overlooked signs that a woman isn't into you is the way she communicates. When a woman is genuinely interested, conversations flow naturally. She asks questions, she laughs, she adds details, and she keeps the energy alive. But when she doesn't care much, every interaction feels like pulling teeth. Think about the times you've texted her and gotten one-word replies. Okay, cool, LOL. That's not shyness, that's disinterest. Or maybe you're face-to-face trying to build a real conversation, but she gives short, dull answers and doesn't bother to ask you anything back. That's not how attraction looks. Here's where men need to check themselves. Too many guys mistake politeness for interest. Just because she's responding doesn't mean she's invested. Women who like you will make it obvious. You won't have to second guess. If you feel like you're doing all the heavy lifting just to keep the conversation alive, that's her silently telling you she doesn't feel that spark. The advice here is simple. Stop trying to force chemistry where there isn't any. If the conversation feels dead, don't beg for life in it. Save your time and energy for women who light up when you speak, who lean into conversations, and who make you feel wanted, not tolerated. Because at the end of the day, if she can't give you engaging words, chances are she won't give you much else either. Let me just say this. If a woman is treating you like an afterthought, it's not because she's confused. It's because she's already decided you're not the man she wants. That's the brutal part of female psychology. Attraction isn't negotiated, and no amount of chasing, waiting, or proving yourself is going to change that. The real question is, how long will you allow yourself to play second place in a game you never had a chance of winning? That's where most men lose. They hold on to the hope that maybe one day she'll see my value, but by the time you're waiting for her to notice you, she's already giving her best self to someone else. I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in a situation where a woman showed these signs, but you ignored them? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll reach out. I want to connect with you and make sure you don't fall into the same traps again. Because in the next video, I'll reveal the subtle ways women test men without ever saying a word. If you miss it, you'll stay blind to the very games that decide whether she respects you or rejects you. So click on that subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so you would be the first to know when it's out. I'll see you then.